Russell Brand's had some really serious allegations recently. Welcome to Shit of the Week. So in the last week or so, it's been going through the news that Russell Brand is being done for sexual assault. Now, to be honest, this is pretty big news to me. I do enjoy Russell Brand's content. I think he's pretty entertaining and talks a lot of sense. But for those of you that don't know what Russell Brand's sort of content is, it's basically just going against the system, just general politics and stuff like that, kind of just opening people's minds to different things. Now, obviously, he gets a lot of backlash for this, considering it's very political, but he still does it anyway, because why wouldn't you? If it's controversial, it's probably a good sign, sometimes. But recently, 4 women have come forward alleging sexual assault from the years 2006 to 2013. But at the same time as these allegations had come out, Channel 4 decided to do a story on him also, and Russell Brand himself described it as a targeted attack. Like, it's just a bit convenient that everything's all coming out at once. Now, I got a lot of information to read to you guys. A lot of it has come from The Guardian and other news outlets, so take it with a pinch of salt. So in the year 2006, one woman accused Russell of sexually assaulting her during their 3-month relationship. She was apparently 16 at the time, and he was 30 years old. Now, yes, that's pretty dodgy if that's real. At this time, he was the host of BBC's Big Mouth, and during their relationship, Russell referred to her as the child. Now, reading that, it seems a bit dodgy. She's also claimed that he was sexually and emotionally abusive towards her, and that he told her to save his name under Carly so her friends and family wouldn't know it was him. Now, obviously, if that's true, that's very dodgy. There's not really a lot that you can say to get around that. You know, if that's actually true, then that's pretty serious, especially given the age gap. But there's seemingly no proof towards these. Now, in 2007, a woman called Jordan Martin alleged Brand sexually and physically and emotionally abused her during their 6-month relationship. She claims he assaulted her at the Laurie Hotel in Manchester when he became angry after finding out she had spoken to an ex-boyfriend. He ripped her phone case apart and pulled out the battery. He then proceeded to touch her sexually. Martin made the allegations in a book published in 2014. She declined to be interviewed by the investigative reporters, but she told the Sunday Times she stood by her account. Brand denies all the allegations made by the Sunday Times, but he has never challenged the content of the book. Now, with this information, obviously the sexual assault thing, disgusting if that's true. Like I said, we need to take all this information with a grain of salt. We don't know whether it's real or not. What I will say though is him being angry and taking her phone apart, bit of a dick move, but I can see that actually being a real thing. Considering the guy's past with drugs and alcohol, he's clearly wasn't in the right frame of mind at that point. Now, this isn't me trying to back him up in any case. I'm just trying to lay out the facts here. When somebody's not right of mind and you're doing something they dislike, they're not going to act very well towards it. Now, if it's a sexual assault, that's a different story. That's criminal. If it's taking someone's phone apart, that's just being angry. You need to get some help. In 2012, a woman alleged that Brand raped her against a wall at his Los Angeles home in July 2012 after she refused to join him in sexual activity with a friend of Brand's. She alleges that she told Brand to get off her and that she wanted to leave, but he carried on and briefly blocked the door to prevent her from leaving afterwards. She told the Sunday Times she was treated at a rape treatment center that same day and had therapy treatment there for months. Records seen by the Sunday Times show she contemplated criminal or civil proceedings but ultimately decided against it. Brand apparently sent her a text message apologizing for what happened afterwards, apparently the same month after Brad and Katy Perry divorced. Now again, these are allegations, but if this is true, this is also very disgusting behavior. Also, if it was true, police should surely be able to get some sort of record of this lady going to these rape centers, but seemingly they haven't got any records of this. Obviously, going to a newspaper isn't the best form of information. You know, a lot of newspapers lie for their own benefit, mainly for just, you know, clicks. It's kind of like a YouTube thumbnail. You know, you put something in there to draw attention in just for clicks. That's what newspapers are like. And I want you all to remember as well that all of these allegations are all coming out exactly the same time. Only one woman has been named out of all these. Maybe that's to do with hiding people's identity, which is perfectly fine. I'm not saying all these women are lying at all. I'm just saying it's very suspicious that it's all coming out at the same time as this whole report by Channel 4 and newspapers. It does seem like an attack, and a lot of people also agree in the comments. I've been reading through a lot of comments when it comes to this situation, and it seems to be a lot more in Russell Brand's favor than these alleged victims. This being said, if this all turns out to be true and these victims are being truthful, then Russell Brand should probably go to prison for this. There should be some form of, justice. It shouldn't matter what your status is. If you're a disgusting piece of shit, you should be treated like a disgusting piece of shit. Now moving on to 2013, a woman who told the Sunday Times, it seems to be the Sunday Times here, told the Sunday Times she had met Brand at an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting before they started working together. She claims he sexually assaulted her at his home in Los Angeles. She alleged he tried to kiss her and remove her clothes as he pinned her down, and she shouted at him to stop. Here's a quote, "I was screaming, 'What are you doing? Stop, please. You're my friend,' she said." She claims he eventually relented, but he flipped and shouted at her, saying she was fired. She claims that years later, she spoke to someone who had been working on a project with Brand and was outside the house at the time of the incident. He allegedly apologized for not helping her and said, "I heard you screaming and we were also scared of him." Brand allegedly threatened the woman later with legal action if she told anyone about her allegation, and she said she would never formally report him because she feared it would mess up her career. Obviously, reporting somebody that's massively famous and well known can be extremely difficult and extremely challenging for someone to do. And also, yes, it can damage somebody's reputation, but people shouldn't be scared to come forwards, especially if these allegations are true, because all that seems very, very fucking serious. Now, the friend outside, if this is true, the friend outside should have helped and stepped in. I don't understand why nobody was recording anything or anything like that, or thought to whip out their phone. Everybody's got a phone in their pocket. That's probably your best form of evidence right there, just recording. Everybody's got one. But also it could come down to just, being unaware at the time and also being scared. Now, do I believe this or not? I'm not sure, as these are all allegations and there's no evidence here. Like I said, it's hard to go off of nothing other than words. But if it is true, this is disgusting. Now, obviously, since all these allegations came out, Russell Brand made his own video stating what he believed.
Hello there, you Awakening Wonders. Now, this isn't the usual type of video we make on this channel where we critique, attack and undermine the news in all its corruption, because in this story, I am the news. I've received two extremely disturbing letters, or a letter and an email, one from a mainstream media TV company, one from a newspaper, listing a litany of extremely egregious and aggressive attacks, as well as some pretty stupid stuff. But amidst this litany of astonishing, rather baroque attacks are some very serious allegations that I absolutely refute. These allegations pertain to the time when I was working in the mainstream, when I was in the newspapers all the time, when I was in the movies, and as I've written about extensively in my books, I was very, very promiscuous. Now, during that time of promiscuity, the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual. I was always transparent about that then, almost too transparent, and I'm being transparent about it now.
Now, personally, I think he's being pretty genuine in his response here. He seems very serious, and I'm inclined to believe him until I see otherwise. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think he's completely innocent. I do believe that he had a lot of issues, given all of his drug stuff back in the day and his alcohol problems. Like, something's obviously happened. This guy isn't squeaky clean, but he's very honest about that, and he always has been. So for all this to come out of the blue, it does seem like everybody is saying a targeted attack, and it could be to do with his political views, especially because it's coming from a news outlet, and news outlets are very, very political. Now, even on Twitter, you've got Elon Musk and Andrew Tate themselves siding with Russell Brand. Of course, they're not the best people to be sided with, but they're also very highly respected by a lot of people. So it's kind of hard to say what's going on here, you know, given that there's very, very, very small evidence, if any, other than word of mouth, which isn't evidence, right? It's hard to say what's true and what isn't. And I'm just hoping for the best here. Without any more information, I don't know what's going on. I just thought it was interesting to talk about because I've seen it everywhere recently and not a lot of people are covering it. Let me know your thoughts. I'm interested. If this is true, I really hope that Russell Brand gets the justice he deserves. But anyway guys, that will pretty much do it for this week's video. Thank you all for being so patient with me this week, these last 2 weeks, given my work schedule's been completely fucked. But yeah, thank you very much guys. And yeah, buy a t-shirt if you haven't bought one already. They're still available. There's only a few left, so links in the description. Go grab one. Be a member today as well. Support the channel. And yeah, just enjoy the rest of your week guys. New video next week and take it easy. See you later.